Perfect. We can go ahead and get started. Welcome everyone this morning to the industry session speaker training. We're very excited to have you all here to learn more about the APEC speaker platform and how best to navigate it, as well as where we use the information provided within the portal. In a moment, I'm going to turn it over to my colleague Nate Nauer to walk you through a presentation. Um, there is time at the end for Q&A, but if you have questions as Nate is presenting, please feel free to drop them in the chat. Myself and the industry session chairs will do our best to answer any questions that you have as we go, and there will be time for questions at the end. Because we are recording this session, again, feel free to keep your cameras off, but I do ask that you keep your microphone off during the presentation, so that way we have a clean recording to post for those who aren't able to be here. But at the end, we will have plenty of time for Q&A. I'd first love to just introduce, even have them wave the industry session chairs, David Chen and Jama Roig, as they are on the call. They have been working very hard to put this program together. So David or Jama, if you'd like to just say hi.
Sure. Hi. So thanks, Catalina. So to all the speakers, Jame and I would like to congratulate you first on the acceptance of your submissions. So now the focus is getting those presentations ready. So as a reminder, please do minimize any commercial content as that can be a turnoff to attendees. And if you have any questions, please reach out to your session chairs. And as Catalina mentioned, if you have questions today, please use the chat box. So with that, I will turn it over to Nate.
Good morning, all. I echo David's appreciation of y'all being here this morning. It's our honor to be here to take you through a presentation. Sometimes these things are called trainings. I always think a training is something you do every day. So this is education, and we're here to answer questions. We hope it's clear. We hope it's simple. If it's not, or you don't think it is, we want to hear from you at the speaker's box. And today you have an opportunity to ask questions, but we're here for you. So we are trying to make this an easy process for you. We're interested to make APEC a quality program and for everything to run smoothly. So as always, we want to hear from you if something is not clear. I am going to now try to, Catalina, share my screen, and you let me know if it's coming through, and then I'll try to see if I can advance.
Looks good, Nate.
Okay. And it's going through? Good. So I'm Nate Nauer. I've been working on the APEC program actually since 2019. At a previous job, I worked with one of our software platforms and got to know the program. We've been doing webinars like this. Well, I've been doing them from this side since 2020 for the 23 event. I guess anyway, this is my third year doing it. So, of course, we're still in 2025, but we're talking about APEC 26. Our colleague Stephen Holtzman is here. The three names at the top are your content team working on this side of things and answering your questions in the lower right-hand corner, the speakers at apec-conf.org email address. And so that email is on every single slide in this deck. And the industry session program chairs, David and Jaume, are here. Just as a point of nomenclature, David and Jaume are the overall program chairs for industry, and we're also going to be mentioning session chairs. Session chairs are individuals who are in charge of one or more particular sessions. So, all right, I would like to take you through a little outline. I'll show this again as we move through the presentation. The purpose for this, oh, wait a minute, important dates. We'll get to that. So I'll show this again at the end. Today is the 13th, so we're here doing this webinar, and it is going to be recorded and posted. We're only doing the webinar live one time, and then hoping that the recording serves the purpose. And then if anything is still unclear, we'll answer questions at the speaker's box. And so that's why that November 20 date is there. We'll have the recording and slides up by then, if not sooner, on the APEC website. This first date, this next important date, and the one that's outlined in the calendar to the left, is the date when draft presentations are due. Your drafts are needed to for the session chairs to review so that we have time. It seems like a lot of time now, 2 months between now and January 16th. But time goes fast, as we all know. And the session chairs need time to look at the presentations, make sure every body as well as every presentation is accounted for, to give you feedback, to allow you to make revisions and upload a final presentation by February 20. February 20 is just about 1 month before the March conference dates, but we need that time to prepare the digital products. And I'll get into what I mean by that. We need that lead time. So February 20 is as late as we can make it and still guarantee that we can deliver for other products that need to be available for attendees. So it's about a month between drafts and finals, and you can start on your drafts today. There's no time too soon. This is again big, and I show it at the end. This slide is drafts on the 16th of January, finals on February 20th. Our two purposes today are to guide you in the tools that we're asking you to use. That's the first purpose. And the second one is really the goal of what we're doing. We want to promote a high quality program at APEC. We are serving, myself, Catalina, Stephen, are serving David and Jaume as the industry session chairs to make the industry session program quality, to make it conform with the regulations, and it to be a good experience for the speakers, the chairs, and the attendees. So the first of the final products that we are delivering for is the live event. I want to start from the end, and we'll see where we're going and then how we get there. I'm taking this approach a little bit different than previous years because we have gotten questions in the past about what this is for, what that is for. Why do I need a PDF? Why do we need a PDF and a PowerPoint? And why are the deadlines seemingly so early before the event? We want to try to answer those questions by starting from working backwards from the event. So these two final products are the live event and then the digital products. In the live event, it's a screenshot of a digital sign from the industry program last year, or this year, last APEC 2025 in the spring, and photos taken from last year's APEC in Atlanta. We want your experience as speakers to be a quality and easy experience, and we want to facilitate that and be here for you all the way from now to the event. Also, the session chairs. Some of you also may be session chairs, I'm not sure. There are session chairs also serving as presenters and vice versa. They have the responsibility pre-event to vouch for full attendance in terms of their speakers, full participation. Like if they have a session with 7 speakers, are all 7 people accounted for? Have we heard from them? Have they uploaded a presentation file? So they have a pre-event responsibility to make sure those things are in order. But then on site, they're facilitating the session running smoothly at the speaker breakfast. On the day of their session, they're making sure their speakers are there. So we want their on-site experience to be a quality one. And then thirdly, but maybe most importantly, the attendees, who are the people registering for coming to APEC, we want them to have a great experience in the industry program.
After this.
I'm just going to ask everybody to mute. Well, thank you. So now I want to talk about the second final product, which are the digital products. And I'm using this word to cover these 3 things. Your data and content, and by content I mean presentation files, on the website, the mobile app, and the event proceedings. I've got in parentheses there the files that are feeding those products. For the first 2, the website and app, it's the PowerPoint file you upload. .ppt, .pptx file extension, your PowerPoint presentation slides, which are feeding what's on the website, feeding what's on the mobile app. It's converted so that your editable PowerPoint is not made available to other people. But it is that PowerPoint which is being uploaded and converted and delivered to those two platforms, website and app. There's a third product here, the event proceedings, conference proceedings. And I'll explain that in just a minute. For that, we do need a PDF version of your slide deck. We and the vendor who produces this doesn't want to be responsible for an error in conversion, taking your PowerPoint, converting it to a PDF, having the fonts read correctly, etc. We are asking all presenters and uploaders to take their own PowerPoint slides when they're final and approved, and we'll get to that, convert them to PDF, save as PDF, and upload that version to a second slot. So these two files go to two different spots, and the reason is they're serving different products. Here's screenshots from APEC 25's website. Right now, we do have the IS schedule, the industry session schedule, hosted on apec-conf.org. That schedule page is being pulled through, and you can scroll through all of the sessions for the industry program this year. You'll notice in the screenshot to the left, there's a presentation button, a green button. It's small, but that little green button that says presentation, that is a linked file. Right now, for 26, we don't have any linked files. No presentations are going to be available to any APEC attendees until just a few days before this year's event. So they'll be available either Tuesday, March 17th or Wednesday, March 18th, depending on where you are in your time zone. But that it's 3 to 5 business days before the event. Presentations will be available for 26. Nothing will be available before then. So again, these are shots from this past event. When you click on that presentation button, it's a link and there's a PDF that comes up. This PDF on the right side is made from the PowerPoint slides that this individual uploaded for APEC 25. And those, again, will be also available for 26. For the mobile app, the release date is the same. Presentations will be available in the mobile app on the Wednesday or Tuesday before the event, 3 to 5 business days before the event. But it's most heavily used on site. So on the left side, you'll see a session schedule, it's the Wednesday schedule in the afternoon, IS 13, IS 14, IS 15. If you click IS 15, it brings up the page that's in the middle. That's called the presentation page on the app. Here you'll see the presenter's photo, presenter's information, their affiliation, their credentials, if they uploaded or provided credentials, as well as their presentation abstract at the bottom. And then at the top, you'll see a thumbnail of some slides and a button at the it's hard to see because it's very small, the lower right side, the slides button. If you click that, it's going to bring up the right side screen, which is images of your PowerPoint slides. Again, this is a converted file format, but it's made from the PowerPoint that this individual uploaded. Now, this third product is something many people take advantage of and use. It's a very valuable product for the technical program at APEC. And under the technical program is included the seminars, the dialogues and lectures from the technical side, as well as the industry program. So all of that education content, that's hundreds of papers and presentation files, are available in this proceedings that's created every year for the registrants at APEC. This is available on the same release schedule as the other presentations, and it's a downloadable archive. So this is, in a sense, somewhat permanent and is created from the PDF that you provide of your slides. And that's why we've got that final due date of February 20. May seem to be early in terms of, with a whole month to go to the event, but it's so that your presentation can be available for APEC registrants to download and have far, beyond the event as a reference. It is a full library of the technical program for that year's APEC. Again, this is 25, so there's a menu screen on the left. This is, if you click the industry presentations button, you'll see what's on the right. If you go to IS 15.2, like the previous screenshots, and click the hyperlink blue text, you'll see a PDF of that presentation. And I just wanted to show you all three of those things because that's where your materials that you're providing are going on the digital side. Live, They're being pushed through an on-site speaker network that's fully networked presentation rooms, and you come to the speaker ready room, you check your slides, you go to your room, everything just runs smoothly. So live is the same file as being used live, and we need it earlier to produce the digital products. All right, so how do we get to the final product? There's 2 steps in it, and the first step is confirming the program. Right now, the industry program is live on the apec-conf.org site. So it's hyperlinked there, and it's the only place I've got the link to the APEC site. I'm hoping everybody here has been to the APEC site, and the schedule pages for industry sessions show what's on the left. The industry session schedule is coming through. This is live data. This is the data we have in the speaker portal database. So if it's not correct here, if you go to the website for your session and you look and something isn't right, it's because the data isn't right. And when I say not right, let's say your credentials, you want to update them, or it could be something you just need to make an adjustment with, but the data that's showing on the APEC site is live data pulled from the speaker portal. Some weeks back, for the organic program, we sent out acceptance letters. So many of you here submitted titles for possible inclusion in the program, and you went through a review process and you were accepted. You received a letter that said you've been accepted. Please now confirm your participation. We did that with the intent of making the schedule when it was published on the site as accurate as it could be up to that minute. So plans change. Sometimes people submit, they're not able to participate. And so if you were part of those programs, if you were part of the submission process, you would have received a letter and you would have been asked to do a single task, which is confirm your participation. That's the middle slide. And I'm showing it even though now it's sunset and we're moving on, almost everybody confirmed and we're moving into the next phase. But we can still make adjustments to the program and need to make adjustments to the program if I guess the most extreme example is if you as a presenter at some point between now and the event cannot participate any longer, then we need to hear from you that you're requesting a change to the program. So there was a link in that task, and this link is also now in other places on the portal to a change request form. A change request form that allows you to tell us, hi, I was accepted. I was going to be the presenter. I can no longer be the presenter. I need my colleague Catalina to be the presenter. Here is her name and email, and here is the session number that this is in reference to. And then those changes come through to us. We see them and process them and update the data so that the website is up to date. So the whole moral of this slide is please check the APEC website, make sure your session looks correct, and if there is a change needed, then make a change in the change request form, which is linked in the portal, and I'll show you. One last note about this change request form. There are 3 pieces of information that you're not able to edit or update. You're not able to edit or update your first or last name or your email. And the purpose for this is if presenters were allowed to update their name and email, they could essentially change their name to the name of another individual and then change their email to the email of another individual, and thereby they would have changed the presenter, and that presenter has received no notification that they've been added. It's like they were made the presenter, but they didn't know. So to control that, changes needed for the presenter need to come through the change request form. And that includes if you're asking a co-author to be the main presenter or asking us to make the co-author the presenter, then you need to make that request through the change request form. All right, now we're into talking about the speaker portal. So this is where we ask all presenters and co-authors to upload, to provide to us personal information in the form of a profile, a bio, a professional bio, and a photo. And then content material, which in this case are presentation files in 2 formats, a PowerPoint slide deck in a PowerPoint file format and a PDF file format of that same content. All right, so the responsibilities for using the portal are different if you're the presenter than if you're a co-author. If you are the presenter, you need to register and present in San Antonio in March. If you are a co-author, we are making it available to you to provide us with your photo, your professional bio, your profile, so that you're searchable and credited on all of the digital products. And it's a great networking opportunity and tool. But co-authors are not required to attend. Okay, so in the portal, the co-authors only have to do the top three, the first bullet point, those three tasks, which is their personal information. But presenters have to provide that as well as the content files, PowerPoint slide deck, PDF of those slides, and they need to respond to the deadlines. The deadlines are less crucial if you're a co-author, but if you're the presenter, it's the draft due date that we need you to be responsive to and the final due date that we need you to be responsive to. And as far as registration goes, the final point there, it is relevant to, it is helpful to know that the early bird rate for registration does end in January. Those dates are here in the slides later. So if you're going to present and come to APEC, you should do it at the more economic rate of the early bird rate. So I'm going to take you through some screenshots and a guide through the speaker portal. At this time, I have not been checking the chat. Do we have questions so far? We could take a minute or two to answer questions if we've got them in the chat. Any questions so far?
No questions in the chat so far.
Beautiful. I will take that as everything is clear. I hope that all of you have received an invitation email, but if you have not, it may be an issue with your email address or something with and we want to hear from you again. If you're on this webinar today, put it in the chat if you have not received an email from us. And again, always you can email us at speakers@apec-conf.org if you have not received an invitation to the portal. This is what the invitation email looks like. This was the first round of emails that went out. It was kind of long because it had a lot of information. So it's split into two screenshots. The left is the top, and scrolling to the bottom is the right side screenshot. The only three things I want to pull out about the email at this time is that that's how you get an invitation to the speaker portal. The speaker portal is it's a closed system. You need to be invited to it. So your name and email is added, and then from there you get an invitation. No one can just come to it and sign up. It's not an open system, it's a closed one. So everybody is invited and then asked to complete certain tasks. Your completion of those tasks is how we know you're getting our emails, and that well, it's how we collect the content too. But your completion of the task is your response mechanism to us so that we can see, okay, things are moving along in terms of the deadlines and the progress. But everybody should receive an email, and if you hadn't, it could be some error that we need to hear from you to correct. Everybody has unique access credentials. They are created in the system. You can't create your own password in this system. It is generated for you and sent to you. The emails include a one-click to log in link, which I've got down here, and I've anonymized this person's individual information. But this makes it easy so you don't have to remember what your access key is, which is an 8-character alphanumeric key. So you don't need to remember it. If you can keep the email, then you just log in from the link, save the link somewhere, and it will pass your credentials through the link. Is there a question? I'm going to move on. But if there's a question, please let us know. Clicking one click to log in takes you to the login screen, and it looks like this. It's just simple, and it should pre-populate your credentials. There is a data protection agreement, which is non-optional. It's the software vendor's compliance with GDPR, which is some years back. just letting you know that your name and email, your data is in this system, and to use it, you have to acknowledge that you know that and provide a digital signature, which is you typing out your name. It's not optional to proceed in the system. It is what it is. So you're going to encounter that data protection agreement. And then, excuse me, finally, not finally, but the next screen you'll get to is the task list page. Industry session presenters, and I say this acknowledging that some of you may be filling other roles too. So I'll just speak to industry session presenters. If you are an industry session presenter and nothing else for APEC 26, you should only see 5 tasks. You'll see 3 personal tasks: profile, biography, photo, and then 2 content tasks: upload presentation slides or digital poster file, and the 5th, upload a PDF of your presentation or poster. If you are an industry co-author, you're only going to see the top 3. If you're the industry session presenter, you'll see 5. This is the top of the task list page where the tasks are listed. At the bottom of the task list page is all the presentations that your name is associated with in this system. So if you're a part of many different sessions with many different roles perhaps on each one, or different roles for each one, then all those should appear. These are the personal tasks, and I'm showing you an example of a speaker pop-up screen. So when you provide your information and somebody clicks on your name, a pop-up window like the one that you see on the right comes up, and it will include whatever you provided. It's going to show your photo if you gave us a photo. We'd like everybody to provide a photo. It will show your credentials, your affiliation that are part of your profile task. It'll show your biography, and I'm trying to think if there's anything else. There are other optional fields you can put on your profile, which will show if you've provided them. Some are required, like your position and your affiliation, your organization are required. But other things like social media links, other contact emails or phone numbers are optional. And they'll show when somebody looks at your profile. The 4th task is the slide deck task. I showed this before when we were going through the digital products about the website. That's where your presentation will appear. And it's also true for the mobile app. Didn't include a mobile app screenshot here, but that's where this 4th task file that you upload is going to be provided to attendees. It's in the slide deck. And the 5th one, the PDF, feeds the conference proceedings. It's PDFs that are sent to that conference proceedings vendor where this is created. And so we just collect that discreetly, and that is what goes to the conference proceedings vendor. Let's talk about this one for a second, the slides. This is the most crucial for the review process because it's this one that your session chair reviewers have visibility into, and only this one. Your session chair reviewers can't see your progress on all tasks. They can't see your PDF upload. They only have visibility into what you put in the presentation slides upload spot. And this is what they're vetting for compliance, as David pointed out about excessive commercial content, and also just general quality. So when you click that task, this is the top of the task, and I'll point out a couple of things. It should have your information. That should all be correct. It'll show yourself as your role there. It should show who the other people associated. There's a co-author associated with this title. In the red text, I'll just read it. I know it's small. It says, "You are seeing this upload task because you are the assigned presenter uploader and responsible for uploading the presentation slide deck. If you believe you are seeing this task in error and are not the presenter, please complete a change request using the change request form linked below." And then that click here for the change request form will take you to the change request form, which is in a previous screenshot. So it may be that you're seeing it in error, you were never meant to be the presenter, or it may be that because of some recent developing circumstances, you can no longer be the presenter and you need to request that the presenter be someone else. So this is just an alert. It's only the presenters that see the upload task. Your co-authors can't upload a slide. Only you, I speak as 2 presenters, can upload the PowerPoint. Down at the bottom of this screenshot, you'll see the presentation templates. There are presentation templates for industry session. If your presentation is part of the PSMA program, there's one template for that. And then there's another industry template for everything that's not part of the PSMA program. And so they're linked there. The non-PSMA is at the top, industry sessions, PSMA in parentheses is the template for the PSMA part of the program. At the bottom of the upload task screen, you'll see the file naming conventions. All of the file conventions are here because this task is being used by other presenters in the program. Industry sessions are there at the top. Please label your file as is seen here with the presentation number. So for example, IS05.3 underscore your last name. This helps us to see exactly where the files go. They're going to be in the right spot because of where you put them, but having the name match that is very convenient for us, and we appreciate you using the file naming convention. I'm going to skip the part about the reviewers. We'll get to that here in just a few slides. At the bottom, it's a click to browse function. So you click choose file through your file explorer. You select where the file lives on your machine or on your cloud or whatever. You select it. You should see that file name pre-populate to the right of the button. So you'll see the file name load, point number 2. And at point number 3, you do need to click the submit file button right above, right there where it says submit files, and you should see a progress bar. Hopefully your internet is fast and it goes quickly, but you do need to take that final step to submit the file. So it's a 2-click process, but 3 points there. Repeat this, I said before, this is what your reviewers see. As a note here, when you overwrite a file or you upload a draft, you get feedback from your reviewers to make an adjustment on slide number 5. You make the adjustment. You save the new file. You're going to upload it back to the same spot. So the only thing that's going to look different is you're going to see a previously uploaded file name there where it says no file chosen to the right of the choose file button. You're going to see the previous file there, and then you're going to go again and repeat steps 1, 2, 3 here. You're going to click choose file, select your new file. It's going to load. You're going to click submit, and then the new file has been uploaded. So it's for all the file versions are saved where these go, but for your purposes, you're going to overwrite the previous file. When you upload new versions, your reviewers, who are your session chairs, do get an alert. So that's really the best way to communicate with your chairs, is to provide a draft, make the changes they requested, and upload the new file. When you upload the file, they get a ping, it says, hey, Nate has provided a new file. And then they go and they look at it again. Responding to session chairs. Your session chairs are visible in the APEC website. If you go there and look for your session, you'll see who your session chairs are. And they'll be reaching out to you. The best thing for you to do as the presenter is to get a draft in by January 16th or as soon as you can. There's no need to delay. Session chairs are not actively reviewing anything yet because we've just recently opened for uploading the files. But they are responsible for vetting your presentations for compliance with the rules of the industry sessions, as well as improving the quality if there's any room for that, and giving you feedback. And the most basic function is to make sure that they're hearing from all the people in their session. So if they have 7 titles in their session, they want to make sure that they've heard from and received something from all 7 people. So they have that delegated responsibility to make sure that their session is complete and that the quality of what's being uploaded is good. So you're going to hear from them. Your responsibility is to upload a draft and make the revisions they request. Once they tell you that everything is good, your presentation can be considered final. Then you're going to upload a PDF version of that, save your final approved slide deck as a PDF, and upload the PDF. That's really the last step. You don't need to, you can wait until you've got your approval to upload that PDF. Who are your session chairs? You can see them in the site right now. So it would be a good thing to do whatever session. If you're IS 13.1, then your session is IS 13, and you go to the website and look who are the session chairs for IS 13. They may be individuals you know, but those are the individuals from whom you're going to hear. There could be some change, some churn in the program where a session chair is, we make some adjustments, but we've got all the session chairs in. There are at least 2 for every industry session. I said this before, this is just out in print form for your reference. The draft version deadline is 2 months from today. 2 months from today, January 16th. When you receive the feedback, make the adjustments, and then upload that new version to this same task, the same location. And they will receive a notification that a new file has been uploaded. As far as the PDF tasks, this is just highlighting what I think I said here about, I'll read it because it's small text. If you are an industry session presenter, make sure you have been approved by your session chair reviewer before uploading a PDF of your slide deck. Only upload a PDF version of your slides once you have received the approval of your final deck. And then this is where that file is going to go. The deadline of February 20th is to provide for time to create this digital product. This version of your file will be made available to APEC attendees in the pre-event presentation file download. This product is available the week before APEC, and it's available for 30 days post APEC. So the end of April, it will be available from before the event to the end of April for download. But attendees who do download it will have it in perpetuity. So you want to make sure that what you've got there is, you'd be happy to have somebody hold on to it forever. These are the important dates. Today is the webinar, the 13th. By next week, we'll have the recording online, if not sooner, and you'll receive a notification about that. Draft presentations on the 16th. Early bird registration for all presenters. You are required to register. So early bird registration, it closes on the 26th. And that's the time to register and not wait, but to get the early bird rate. February 20th is the deadline for final PowerPoints and final PDFs. I'll make one note here, which is that we're not going to close these tasks to prevent new uploads after the 20th. There are reasons for that I won't get into, but the platform is going to allow someone to upload, I'll just pick a date, February 27th, to upload a new PDF on the 27th. That's fine. The only thing we are letting you know is we can make no guarantees that that file will make it into the proceedings. The date of February 20th is as late as we can go and still meet the vendor deadlines. So it's not going to close, but that's not a guarantee it's going to be included. We do a post-event update of this product that's created right after the event. So if you upload a new version, it can make it into the post-event update. But the pre-event version of the archive, the deadline is the 20th, February 20th. This is one for the records here. These are the draft and final version due dates. And we want to hear from you at the speakers box. We do check that daily, multiple times daily. We have a customer service team that checks it all the time. I myself and Catalina check it as well, and Stephen. And so if there are issues, questions, we want to hear from you in the speakers box. I am done. And so, yes.
A few questions in the chat. One that I think you'd be better suited to answer is, how can presenters contact their session chairs once they are assigned? As a note, some session chairs have not yet been assigned to sessions. So once they're assigned, how can they reach out to them?
Yeah, it's a great question. You'll receive information about that through an email. You'll see that your session chairs, you'll see who your session chairs are. The session chairs have not been put The reviewer platform is a separate database platform that all session chairs are in, and those chairs aren't in that platform yet. You will receive information about your session chairs via email, and um, you'll see their names when you're in your review portal. Um, so the right now you'll see who they are through the website. So if you need to make contact with them, I'm curious to know if the person asking a question um, needs the session chair to answer questions before they upload a draft. And that's okay if you don't have a right
Luckily,
now.
session chairs are planned to be in their portal by early December.
Right.
So they will, that information about your session chairs should be emailed out within a month. So it still gives you a month before drafts are due where you'll have their contact information to discuss questions.
It's a great question. Yeah, thank you. That um, this is an earlier kind of date for the industry session webinar for the presenters, and you will see information about about your chair's contact information, which is really what you're asking. What's your contact information for your chairs?
Another request was if it's possible to share briefly the templates for the PSMA and non-PSMA presentations. Although David also did drop in the chat the link to the APEC website where they live as well. The templates do change year over year, so please, reference the ones on the website and within the portal.
Yes, and just the templates that are linked in the upload task in the portal are linked directly to the source location for the website. So they're um, they don't live in two places. It's one link that we've just made available on the upload task. They are on the industry session presenters resources page. The templates are there on the APEC site. And if you're the presenter, then they're also available through the upload task in the portal. Anybody else?
A couple other questions that are now coming in the chat. Alan, I can screen share those in just a moment. I'm just going to finish the questions in the chat and then I can screen share those presentations. But how do I know which template to use? If you are designated, Nate, I don't know if you want to answer that one. How do they know which template to use?
Well, if your presentation is part of the PSMA program, then you would use the PSMA deck. And if your presentation is not part of the PSMA program, then you would not use the PSMA deck. Are you are you asking how you know if your presentation is part of the PSMA program or not?
That might be the case.
Okay. So we can answer your question directly if you email us at the speakers box, or if you put your stuff in the chat, we can answer you directly. So I'll have to check the website to see if that is called out on the website. In years past, we did have it when you would go to the APEC site and click your presentation, you'd see whether or not it was PSMA. But thank you for the question. We'll answer you directly and then
The
provide.
last question I'm seeing right now is, can we still update our slides during the APEC 2026 event as in previous years?
Yes. Yes. The speaker ready room is really a requirement for everybody to come and check in before when they get to APEC. So we prefer people to come to the speaker ready room like the day ahead of their presentation. That's what we ask. If you're in the afternoon, say on Wednesday, and you come in the morning, that's also good. People do come to the speaker ready room sometimes minutes before their presentation, and that can create some issues. You will be able to do it. You will be able to make edits to your presentation. I speak, I think, on behalf of the chairs here that we don't want you to make major changes to your presentation once you've been approved. So there's an honor system aspect to this, that the deck that you've had reviewed and approved is what's been approved. And though you have the ability to make edits, that's for the purposes of making small corrections and not major content changes. But when you come to the speaker ready room on site, you can update your file, and then that file will sync through the network and be the one that you see in your room when you present. So the answer is yes, with that, I guess the caveat of us asking, avoid major changes once you've been approved.
Another question, are there some rules regarding animations in the PowerPoint files? I don't believe there are any specific rules, but we do need a clean PDF copy of your presentation. And so if the animations they won't come through on that PDF file. So just being aware of that the PDF that some attendees access won't have your animations on it. There was another question about, can you answer everyone about how to know if you're a PSMA presentation or not? When you submitted your proposal in the submission platform for industry sessions, you would have selected if you wanted to be a part of the PSMA program. So if your submission was not, you didn't select PSMA industry session submission, then you are not a part of the PSMA program. If you need us to double check for you, please email the speakers box. But again, when you submitted your proposal, you would have selected PSMA submission.
There may be some of you that are the invited presenters in a PSMA session for which somebody else submitted a PSMA session proposal, it was accepted, and now you're part of the program that they've built. So I can understand if some, what we're going to do as a follow-up is make sure that it's clear on the website that the PSMA ones are clearly marked. And so there are certain numbers that are the PSMAs are reserved for the PSMA, but we'll make sure that when you check the APEC website, you go to your session number, you can see whether or not it's a PSMA. I can see that for some you might have been added and not know, that what you've been added to is a PSMA.
Nate, if I can take over screen share from you for just a moment. I would love just to show the group the presentations based on the request. So this here is the PSMA template. It has the PSMA logo down in the bottom corner. I'm not going to go through the actual contents of the template as it is available online, but this is the PSMA template. And then there is the non-PSMA template. It's very similar, if not the same, except there is no PSMA logo down in the bottom corner. Again, if you have any questions on the templates, please feel free to contact us at speakers@apec-conf.org. But each slide does designate different information about the presentation and how to put it together. And the only real difference between the PSMA and the non-PSMA, the major difference, is that logo in the bottom corner. At this time, we do have, a little bit more time for open Q&A if anyone has any questions. And would like to come off microphone. Okay. Well, again, I will drop it in the chat one more time. But speakers@apec-conf.org is the best way to reach all of us. If you have any questions, feel free to contact, but otherwise, I hope everyone has a great Thursday. Thank you for joining.
Thank you all.
Thank
Thanks
you.
so much. Take care.